Yo, check it out, I gotta speak the truth about the hardest working small channel in the crypto booth.
Welcome back to the Crypto Father channel. I am the Crypto Father. Today is the 27th of June. Today's video is going to take a slightly different turn as I stumbled upon an article that raised my interest and I wanted to talk about it. It's going to be a little bit out of character, so please make sure to stick around till the very end. Bear with me and watch the video because it might be of interest to you as well. A bit of mystery, a bit of mystique, and demonic drive, I guess. The article I came across was Crypto Queen Ruja Ignatova gets new $5 million bounty from FBI. And I wasn't sure what it exactly meant. What do you mean 5 million bounty? Was this a play on words? Was she receiving the $5 million? Or was it an actual bounty that was being issued on her head? And who was this Ruja Ignatova with this corny name, Crypto Queen? I literally just found out about it this morning because I'm a last minute kind of guy. So I'm going to present to you some of the facts that I found out so far about in a non-chronological order, but I will try to keep it as organized as information that has been gathered over the past 20 minutes can be. US law enforcement officials remain on the hunt of the infamous suspect despite reports that she had been murdered in 2018. This is what it says. The claims are that this person was murdered in 2018. However, the FBI has just updated the $5 million bounty in 2024. If you've never heard of Ruja Ignatova or the scheme that she was pushing, let me take you down the rabbit's hole and introduce to you what is OneCoin. OneCoin was a Ponzi scheme that pulled in $4 billion from 2014 to 2016. OneCoin was not actively traded, nor could the coin be used to purchase anything. Its founder, Ruja Ignatova, has disappeared and co-founder Sebastian Greenwood is in jail in the US. The company's main business was selling course materials, which were reportedly plagiarized in most cases. Its course material business model was akin to a multi-level marketing MLM scheme where course material buyers were paid to recruit new buyers. The last one is not unlike so many other cryptocurrency projects, most of the Toncoin games included. Everything right now runs on promotions. If you help getting more people, I will give you a cut of the profits. OneCoin was a cryptocurrency-based Ponzi scheme. The companies behind the scheme were OneCoin Limited and One Life Network Limited, founded by Bulgarian national Ruja Ignatova, who disappeared in 2017 or 2018. Apparently, the information provided by different sources is a bit conflicting. However, not before the scheme raised $4 billion, which is a massive amount. Talk about scams and schemes and hacks. Ruja Ignatova started OneCoin in 2014, claiming it worked just like any other cryptocurrency. The claim was that OneCoin could be mined with 120 billion coins available and used to make payments, even having an e-wallet. However, there was no OneCoin blockchain model or payment system. Now, before I continue on with this bears striking resemblance to what BlockDAG is currently doing. The BlockDAG network currently is pronouncing itself to be the world's leading cryptocurrency blockchain. It also asserts that it is mineable, despite the conflicting presentation of its project, presuming that it is a proof of stake and a proof of work at the same time. Going back to OneCoin, however, there was no OneCoin blockchain model or payment system. The company did sell educational materials such as courses on cryptocurrencies. This was considered its main business. The courses included other areas as well, such as trading and investing. The courses were part of a multi-level marketing scheme where buyers were offered rewards for bringing in more participants. Buyers of the course packages were to receive tokens that could be used to mine OneCoins. Much of the course material offered was said to be plagiarized. The exchange for converting OneCoin into other cryptocurrencies was the OneCoin exchange XCoinX, which was an internal marketplace. Members were able to access the exchange if they bought more than just the beginner package. There's a lot of schemes like that FutureCoin was another scheme like that, which I was sucked into and basically lost a couple of $1,000s, not too badly, but I know that people lost a lot more than just a couple of $1,000s on FutureCoin. Selling limits were placed on the accounts based on the level of education package purchased. In January 2017, the exchange was shut down. Leading up to the shutdown, OneCoin denied the majority of withdrawal requests. The exchange was the only way for affiliates to cash out. In 2016, questions started to come up about OneCoin as many countries began to investigate the company, with some calling it a pyramid scheme. The Direct Selling Association in Norway first called the OneCoin fraud a pyramid scheme in March 2016. In May 2016, the Hungarian Central Bank warned against OneCoin being a pyramid scheme. In 2017, OneCoin claimed it was the first company to become licensed by the Vietnamese government and legally allowed to be used as a digital currency. The Vietnamese government rebutted the claim. You might wonder what prompted these people in the countries, the nations, to believe that this coin was so prominent. You have to understand that this person traveled the world. She went from country to country to give keynote speeches such as this one. Not unlike the ones that are presented by BlogDag, that uses either AI-generated personas or people that look like movie stars of some level of fame. But this person was out in the open. She was making herself visible. She wasn't just a name in the shadow. She was actually accessible to, I guess, thousands of people who were watching her in different countries. And she took the time to travel from country to country across the world in order to make presentations in front of the investors who had put money into the coin. So it was kind of hard to believe that this could have been a fraud. On top of that, she was an Oxford graduate. She was an intelligent person. And I guess it was very easy to fall for that imaginary persona. This is Ruja Ignatova's profile listed on the FBI 10 Most Wanted Fugitive website. Ruja was born in Bulgaria. She was raised in Germany, and so she spoke, I assume, fluent English, German, and Bulgarian. Despite her heavy accent, she was quite well versed, having studied at Oxford in the past. Her claims were that this coin has over 2 million users, which may have been at that point in January of 2015 the only coin with that many users. And so it's easy to see why people would believe this presentation, why people would believe her. She was convincing enough, she was smart enough, and I guess she had a level of charm that people found adoring enough to throw $4 billion at this person. The BBC released a podcast that followed the life of this cryptocurrency scammer, of the crypto queen, and the most recent podcast, episode 12, came out just recently, only a couple of days ago. But basically, these journalists have been on this person's trail, on her trail, for the past 6 years, 7 years. It's almost bizarre. Despite reports of her death, so she was claimed to have been killed in 2018. She disappeared in 2017. She's been claimed to have died in 2018, or rather the claim is that she has been murdered by the Bulgarian mafia or the underworld kingpin drug lord. However, reports after the year of 2018 have been coming out pointing to the fact that she may have been spotted in different countries across the world, and most recently in Scotland. Despite reports of her death, the story of so-called crypto queen Ruja Ignatova is not over yet. As US Department of State announced, it was raising the reward for information leading to her arrest and conviction to $5 million on Wednesday. So the FBI believes that they have enough evidence to implement a $5 million bounty on this person, because despite the fact that the presumption is that she's dead, that she's been murdered in 2018, apparently the FBI have enough evidence to suggest to them that she is still at large, that she's still around. Which is a crazy story, to say the least. In June 2022, Ignatova was added to the FBI's 10 Most Wanted list. While the Department of State and the US Federal Bureau of Investigation did not give a reason for the reward increase, the bounty on Ignatova was $100,000 in 2018. Still, as the mystery over the disappearance grew, law enforcement steadily increased the size of the bounty. The story of Ruja Ignatova's rise and fall began in 2014 with the launch of OneCoin. In 2017, the OneCoin scheme collapsed after robbing investors of $4 million, and Ignatova went into hiding as a warrant that issued for her arrest. Now, this $4 million, I think, is a mistypo because there's stock of $4 billion rather than 4 million. According to the FBI, Ignatova traveled from Sofia, Bulgaria to Athens, Greece, noting that she may have also traveled on a German passport to the United Arab Emirates or Russia. And this is the point at which she vanished. So apparently she may or may not have boarded a plane in 2017 and just disappeared. On February 6, 2018, the DOJ charged Ignatova with 1 count each of conspiracy to commit wire fraud, money laundering, and securities fraud. In May 2022, Europol added Ignatova to its most wanted list, as well offering a €5,000, around $5,340 reward in 2018, and that went from $5,000 or $100 that was issued by the FBI to $5 million. The search for Ignatova hit a major hurdle in February 2023 when Bulgarian investigators said the alleged fraudster was murdered in 2018 on the orders of a drug lord Ignatova was paying for protection. So the story is that this woman has paid some Bulgarian underworld drug lord kingpin to protect her and then was murdered in 2018. The story is a bit gruesome. Apparently, the report on the podcast says that her body was dismembered and basically disposed of on a boat somewhere in the Mediterranean Sea. However, the story took a crazier turn when the police report noted that the person reporting that Ignatova was killed was intoxicated at the time. Earlier this month, a new episode on the long-running BBC podcast, The Missing Crypto Queen, investigated the claims of Ignatova's death, noting that Ignatova became a liability due to the international investigations into OneCoin and Ignatova. The Missing Crypto Queen podcast reports that she had a boyfriend in the States around the time that she decided to disappear. Her boyfriend was in the States and she was in Bulgaria, and they were communicating on the phone, and he had been secretly arrested. And so people were already very suspicious of what she was up to. And while they were talking on the phone every single day, he was trying to convince Ruja to come back to the United States because he was being recorded and he was working for the police, for the FBI already by that time. And apparently he said something that set her off and she just disappeared. And she's been never heard from since again. And then the rumor surfaced that she had been murdered. But so now the FBI apparently have received plenty of evidence that suggests that she may still be at large. This is why they've raised the reward from $100,000 to $5 million. So this person has disappeared with close to $4 billion or $5 billion worth of money that she had stolen from investors from all across the world, not just in one particular country. And it's shocking to see that she got away with it. Whether it's true that she's been murdered or not is still a mystery. What's the reason for the FBI to raising the bounty to $5 million on them without them actually having enough evidence? Maybe they are aware, maybe they have enough evidence to suggest that she has been murdered, but not enough to actually produce solid evidence, 100% facts that she is actually dead. And so maybe this $5 million is kind of an incentive for more journalistic work to be conducted in order to provide the FBI with enough information to close the case finally. Whatever the case may be, this is an ongoing situation, and the fact that this one single person, one woman, has disappeared with $5 billion and can't be found since 2018, so this is over a duration of 6 years, she's been able to avoid the FBI, is just mind-boggling. The FBI and other authorities, because apparently, obviously, the Europol are also after her alleged disappearance in 2018. There were reports from Greece in 2019 that people had seen her in a coffee shop, and some other countries across the world, in England in 2022. The story of this woman gets even more bizarre when you learn that she had people working for him, like a former spy, a German spy who was helping her to get things done in the OneCoin crypto world. And apparently he was the one, presumably, that helped her escape. So the presumption is that the plan to escape was set, and according to the FBI agent in the States to whom the reporter was talking, an escape like this. So Ruja was a very visible person. She was a person that everybody knew she was the face of the coin. And how does a person like that, so well known, just disappear, vanish into thin air? So the presumption is that this escape must have been planned to a very meticulous way. And who would be the person to do that? The assumption was that the former spy who was working for her would be the person to do it. Now, this whole story takes a complete other new twist when he gets arrested and is put into home arrest with an ankle brace. But in 2023, he too vanishes. And the only person who may have some information on Ruja's disappearance, on how she managed to pull off that scam and disappear and not be found for years, for 7 years, is also gone. So the only person who is presumed to have helped Ruja escape is now himself missing. But so the story of Ruja goes far beyond the idea of one woman trying to scam the world for $4 billion. The story is that she was working together with Taki, who was the Bulgarian drug underworld cartel underlord, and he was apparently the one responsible for her security after she vanished. Now, further, the assumption is that he was using OneCoin to launder money out of Europe into different countries from within Europe. And so the presumption is that she had been murdered by him, by Taki, because she may have been a loose end. Basically, there was too much heat, too much attention being drawn, and he knew where she was and basically got rid of her. That's the presumption. So the story goes well beyond cryptocurrencies, well beyond that, beyond this one person. The story almost looks at a highly organized criminal organization that is running amok in Europe, somewhere out of Bulgaria. So this story of Ruja Ignatova is one that is mystifying people to this day, mystifying professionals who have been working on this case for the past 7 years. A person that stole $5 billion of investors' money, and I guess it's wrong to say that she's the one to have done it, because she will most likely have been just the face of the coin, of the scheme. But there were other people who were working behind the scenes, like the Bulgarian kings of organized crime, or former spies. And the fact that the FBI still keeps her on the FBI 10 most wanted list is most interesting. It means that they have enough evidence to suggest that she may still be around, and the proposal that she has been killed may not necessarily have enough ground on which to be dismissed. So this is, I know it's kind of off topic of crypto, but it is crypto related, but it just shows you that scams and schemes can be very powerful. And things like BlockDAG, you never know where this is coming from. You never know who's making it, and why is it being listed on the Forbes website? Why are articles being written about it in legitimate publications? It's so bizarre. People who lose their money in cryptocurrencies and hope to make it back will most likely not make it back. So this is kind of a cautionary tale. Going aside from the fact that, of this particular story and the fact that it may be linked to Bulgaria's organized crime, the idea that you can lose money in cryptocurrencies and then somehow still hope to get it back is ludicrous. First of all, the blockchain is unforgiving. There are very few instances in which you can actually reclaim your funds, very few, and it's most likely in the cases where the funds are minuscule. If your funds get siphoned out of a centralized exchange, perhaps the centralized exchange may have some kind of security in place and repay the things that were stolen, or the case of FTX where the exchange collapsed. They're still able to recoup, even though it took years to do it. Mt. Gox, it took 6 years to do the same thing. But the point is, we never know who's behind crypto schemes, and once the money is gone, it's gone. It's gone if it's done by simple shysters, but if it's done with the help of organized crime, which quite possibly, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the scams, the big scams and the hacks are done by organized crime, your money is gone. So you have to be, as an investor in cryptocurrency, you have to be very cautious, very careful about where you put your money. Be frugal. Don't be throwing money around left and right. Don't be so naive as to easily just hand it over to this project or that project, thinking that you're going to make millions overnight. These things don't happen. And so with that, I guess the story continues. It's so bizarre, and it will continue because there is no conclusive evidence to point to the fact or to the idea that Ruja Ignatova is actually dead. And so the story will continue for as long as it needs to continue, I guess, until the FBI or whoever other legal authorities have enough evidence to suggest that she actually is gone, and they will close the case. But even so, even if they close the case, maybe it's the case that they can't close the case, maybe they even know that she is dead, but keeping the case open will help them to track down organized crime that may be behind this particular scam and many other scams. Keeping this case open of Ruja Ignatova's disappearance may help the authorities to track down the people who are behind the death, her disappearance, which could be the Bulgarian organized crime scene. It's so bizarre. If this story was entertaining in any way, shape, or form, then please make sure to smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for tuning in. Join the channel, become a member on the channel. But please, first and foremost, remember to share the content with everybody. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.